because I can record it and upload it to YouTube. It won't let me because of the music stuff. So sometimes that's annoying, but just so you guys know, I know some people do music, but I record all of mine and some leaders don't. So I'm going to share my screen. I posted the tracker in the chat if you guys want it, and I'll post it one more time at the end. But we're going to go ahead and get started. So really quick, at the beginning of all of mine, we do like a little self-assessment. So the one for this particular power hour is really geared towards like building your audience. So unless you already have an audience built, right, which most of us don't coming in, and I'll tell you that that's not something you ever really stop building. So it's up to us to kind of make that first move. So if you're brand new to coaching and you're like, I don't have anyone to invite, I don't have anyone to talk to, this is a really great way to just get going, to start building. So number one, how to engage, the live interface. So these are all the different ways that you can create engagement of some kind on social media. There's just a whole list there. I like to have you guys just identify which ones are the easiest for you, and then maybe which ones you avoid. So those two first little sections right here, how to engage, these are all the different ways. These are the ones that I want you to mark. Like if you avoid them, if they're hard for you, if you don't really do them, I just want you to take a note of that. It's like a lot of people I know don't do the voice messaging because it's a little too vulnerable. It's just good to be aware of these things, because what I want you to do is try not to avoid the ones that are more difficult for you, because that's probably where you're going to get more engagement than you normally think. Okay, so just sort of being aware of that. And then this is a quick list. If you wanted to do this power hour as a power pocket, you can literally do this in 15 minutes. You just go through each little step. And once you've done this whole power hour with me, you should be able to read this list and be like, oh, I know how to do that. Super simple, but it will help you guys. I can see some people squinting. I'm like, oh, no one can see it like me. Good, I'm not the only blind person here. Anyway, so this is just a little way to make it a power pocket, okay? So the very first thing we're gonna do to create engagement is what? Wake up our audience and post, check in for the day. If you've already posted this morning, then I want you to focus on your Instagram stories and just start engaging your platforms. If you haven't made a post on Facebook yet, then make a post on Facebook. But what I want you to do is post your current results. And I want you to be super honest about it, whatever they are, wherever you're at. If you're doing awesome, you guys own it. Be like, I'm doing so good. I'm so disciplined right now. I'm feeling really on top of things. Like, just wherever you are, I want you to own it. If you're not doing super great, then I want you to ask yourself, why? Why am I struggling? And that's what I want you to talk about as the problem right now. Why am I struggling? And then I want you to put in, what is my solution? And then what's my action plan with that solution? Those three things I think are really powerful when it comes to posting about health and fitness, because then people get to see the whole picture. Here's the problem, here's the solution, here's how I'm going to attack it. And when you can give people something to follow that way, a story, and then you follow through with it, right? Think about it. If people don't have anything to follow you for, right, then who's going to follow you? People like following a story. So if they're like, oh, I'm coming into chapter 5, what's going to happen next? That's sort of what you want to kind of build with your social media, right? Our lives kind of are storybooks already. So it's just really learning how to tell that story with cliffhangers and with excitement and with things that are going to, like, to be determined, just things that people can continue to follow and latch onto. Okay, so I'm going to give us a good solid 10 minutes to make that first post. I want you guys to spend some time with it, make it good, use good hashtags. Okay, this is going to set the tone for your whole power hour. So take the time and make it good. Okay, I'm going to give us 10 minutes. Okay, we're gonna go to the next exercise. So on Instagram, what I want you guys to do is go to your favorite non-Beachbody related page that you follow. If you don't have any, then you're going to spend this time trying to find people outside of the Beachbody world that inspire you, right? You need a lot of different mentors and a lot of diversity, I think, in order to grow and be well-rounded. So I want you to go to the people's pages that you love the most to follow, mentors, whatever. And I want you to engage with their audience. Go to a couple posts that you really like of theirs and dive into the comment section. And what I want you to do is heart or like 25, between 25 and 50 people's comments that you like. Just do, really simple. It's really simple engagement, but I've been finding this is really effective too, because what happens when you do that is it notifies the person that's comment you liked, and you'll go into their notification section and they'll be like, oh, Coach Jace liked my picture or liked my comment on Brene Brown's post. I'm gonna go see what that is. And they'll go because they'll be curious because they'll have never seen your face before and they'll want to know who you are. It's a really great way to start connecting with people who share values with you. So obviously don't heart something that you don't agree with. This is a really, really easy way to plant seeds for connection. It's a super effective networking tool that is, I'm finding, engaging a lot of people. So I'm going to give us 5 minutes and I want you to go through and heart 25 to 50 comments. I'm telling you guys, if you do this exercise a couple times a day, you're going to start to see your following increase. If you do this with people's pages that you really connect with and with comments you really connect with, it really works. Okay. I'm going to make you a little comfortable. I'm going to push you a little bit. How many of you guys are super comfortable inviting your friends and family? Raise your hand. Okay, Ivana, I'm like, is anyone's hands raising? I'm like, okay. If you're really good at inviting your friends and family, I want you to write your best tip in the chat below for somebody who isn't. Tell everybody, like, what's your mindset? What's your thinking along those lines? Like, why is it so easy for you to do that? For me, that was not something that I did. I was avoiding my friends and family like the plague when I started coaching. But I just wanted to share a really simple way, and I want you guys all to do this. This is a great time of year to really engage your friends and family. It's right before all the holidays. So what I want you to do is think about, and I look at this differently now. With my friends and family, I coach them a little bit differently. I'm not so interested in selling product or putting them in a challenge group or whatever. My interest level there is accountability. That's how I approach people that I love the most. Because for me, that's really what works. That's my dynamic. It's my personality. It's just what works for me. So I always do things like, hey, we all have our Christmas party coming up. Who wants to do a little exercise challenge, or where is everybody at? I just sort of engage them with their fitness and their nutrition and see where everyone's at and see if we want to hold each other accountable. That's kind of how I do it. So what I want you guys to do right now, I'm going to give us 3 minutes. So it's really quick. So you don't have too much time to overthink it and chicken out. I just want you to engage a family member or friend. And I want you to be like, hey, we're going into the holidays. Like, I have this event or this party, or Halloween's coming up right around the corner. Like, how are you doing? Do you want to have a healthy week with me next week? Can we hold each other accountable? I need an accountability partner. Or however you feel the most comfortable, but I want you to engage one of your friends or family. Okay, I want you to send them a quick text. It can be super short or super long, whatever you want. You have 2 minutes. Go. Amanda, I love that comment. She said, I just did this with my cousin's wife. She has the commitment issues and said that it'll never work. She has all the equipment, but none of the mindset. Not sure where to go from here. It's super simple though. Work on her mindset, right? The first question I would ask is why? Why won't it work? And because most of the time they'll be like, because I've tried everything. And you'll be like, okay, well, why didn't it work? Where did you fall apart? And she's like, oh, I can't be consistent. I didn't have time. I can't eat help. Like, right. That's when all of her excuses will come out. And I'll be like, it sounds like you don't work. Like that's the real, right? But if you can really call people out, the best thing you guys can do if you get stuck is ask why. Ask why, ask why, ask why, until you really get to the root of the problem. You know what I mean? I used to teach this exercise with people when I first started, or when they first started, and I would give them this example of this guy who got to work and he was, overweight and having a hard day, and his coworker's like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm just having a bad day. And she's like, why? He's like, oh, I woke up, I slept through my alarm, whatever. And she's like, well, why did you sleep through your alarm? Well, I stayed up super late because I was hanging out with my friends. Well, why did you stay up so late on a work night? Well, my friend was having a party and we started drinking, and I get stuck in that cycle, whatever. And so I just did it. I thought I would be fine, and it turns out I'm not fine. Well, why do you keep doing that? Right? That's really the root. Why do you keep doing that? Why do you keep putting yourself in this position? I don't know. I guess I just feel like I'm not feeling my best lately. Why is that? Because I'm insecure. Right? Like the further you dig until you really feel the root of the issue, that's when the real work starts. Okay. We're going to skip this next one because we already sort of did that. So what I want us to focus on now on Instagram is the follow back. This I've been focusing a little bit more on intentionally as well lately. So what I want you to do is go to either Facebook or Instagram, it doesn't matter, whoever friended or followed you last. The way that you find that on Instagram is really simple. You can either go to your heart and just scroll down and it will show you your most recent follows. That's a really easy place to find it. Or you can go to your homepage and just look at pull up followers. And you used to be able to, well, you can go in there and just look at who you aren't following and do that, following back. So what I want you to do is follow back 5 to 10 people that look like people you would want to work with or that you'd want to connect with more. And I want you to go to their page and I want you to engage their page. So follow them, like a couple of their posts, comment a couple things, like really take a minute to engage on their page. So I'm going to give us 5 minutes to go through and do that. Okay, we're gonna do something fun now. And everyone has to do this. I know it's uncomfortable, but it's fine. How many of you guys still struggle making reels right now? Raise your hand. How many of you have got it down pretty good? Raise your hand. How many of you are just not doing it because it's not your thing? Raise your hand. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a fun reel for Saturday. This is just for us, so don't think too much about it, but you are gonna post it, okay? This is just a way for us to create engagement for each other and just to do something fun and let go of the pressure and expectations. So what I want you to do is pull up your Instagram, click on going to post a new reel. You can put whatever filter you want on it. And all we're gonna focus on is telling 2 truths and a lie. Have you guys ever heard that game? It's so fun, okay? 2 truths and a lie. Your caption can be 2 truths and a lie, which is which. That's it. And then I want you to use whatever hashtags you want for engagement. But one of the hashtags I want you to do Coach Jace Power Hour so that we can all go to it and spend a minute engaging on each other's reel that we just posted, okay? So I'm gonna give us a good solid 5 minutes. Because again, I don't want you to overthink this. And I want you to get it done, posted, tagged, and then we'll go from there. Okay, go. Don't forget to add captions to it so people can see what you're saying. Okay, so reels create the most engagement at the moment. So what I want you guys to do is once you have that created, and I'll give you a couple more minutes if you want at the end to finish it, if you didn't yet. But the last 2 or 3 minutes of the call, we're all going to go to that hashtag and just interact on each other's reels. Okay. And it will just kind of boost your content and engagement for the day. It creates energy. It's just a nice way to connect with each other, right? And connect with other people. Not everything has to be so serious all the time. I fall into that trap at times where I just get way too serious and too heavy. So it's always good for me to show that part of my personality and that side of me. And people really like that. To just have fun and feel stuff and be entertained. They like that. Okay. So this is just a really simple way to play little games with your reels. It's a different idea. You can do this with like little fitness challenges for the day and have other people create reels and use the hashtag you assign to it. It's just a really simple exercise to learn. Okay. All right. We're going to do a couple more items of work, and then we're going to plan for a minute and engage, and then we're going to be done. So the next two things, I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes or so to do this. What I want you to do, and I do this a lot on my power hours, is share a plan that you can follow through with today. I want you to get used to showing people what you're going to do and then doing it. It builds credibility for you. You can build credibility every single day with this exercise, but it also creates opportunity for feedback. It also creates opportunity to share value with people and teach people without even really having to think about it. So I just want you to go into your Instagram stories. You can pull up a blank slide. You can take a picture of yourself if you want, and then do writing over the top of it, however you want to do it. But I want you to create a 3-item to-do list. And I want you to follow through with it today on your Instagram stories. I want you to show your accountability to that list. So every time you check off an item, I want you to repost your list, but with one of the items checked off. I want you to show people your follow through, right? If you have 0 follow through game, that is a coach business killer. And if you're like, oh, I don't know why my business is working, and then you look at your follow through and you rate it from 1 to 10 and you're sitting at a 2, that's why. You have to learn how to follow through. Okay. So I want you to share a little plan, 3 items. That's it. You might have more on your to-do list, but I just want you to share 3 that you know you can follow through with no matter what today, and share that journey. And then after the second slide, I want you to take a poll to try and engage your Instagram community, or you can do it on Facebook, or you can do it in your challenge group. But I want you to take a poll somewhere. You can ask them any question that you want, but I just want you to create an opportunity for feedback and engagement today. So those 2 items right here is what we're focused on. I'm going to give us a few minutes to go through and get those 2 done, and then we'll go from there. To-do hack, you could put power hour on your to-do list, and then you can check it off right when we get done. I'm just saying, Saturday, the less we can do, the better. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Let's go to this last little part. We're just going to take about 5 minutes and then we're going to end with engaging with each other. What I want you to do is pull up a new note on your phone, fresh note from today, or get your piece of paper out, whatever you want, however you want to do it. And what I want you to do is I want you to prep. I want you to get some ideas going for yourself. This is really an underrated exercise. But if you can do this at the beginning of every week, whenever you get stuck during the week, you can refer back to your notes and you'll have ideas for content to create when you're not really in the mood. Something that I heard last night in the movie Dune, if you guys missed it, I went to Dune at 10 p.m. That's why I'm so tired. There's this one scene where the kid in it has to like fight and he doesn't want to. He's like, I'm not in the mood. And he's all, if you wait until you're in the mood, you're going to die. Like fighting doesn't matter. Like if someone's attacking you and wants to kill you and you're not in the mood, you're just going to die. Like that's what's going to happen. He's like, you don't, show up just when you're in the mood. You show up whether you're in the mood or not, kind of thing. And I was like, that's so true. And there's a lot of times where we're not really in the mood to show up and be inspirational and motivate and like even do stuff ourselves. But this is really helpful. So if you can create a note, here's what I want you to try and think of: 3 to 5 captions that are just 3 to 5 words long, not big, long paragraphs, just 3 to 5 catchy little captions that you can use this week. I want you to think of an evergreen topic that's timeless for a Facebook post. And what I mean by evergreen is it's a topic that's never going to go out of style. Facebook loves evergreen content that can work years and years and years, be reshared and reshared and reshared. So quotes, anything that has to do with like a core value of yours is generally good evergreen content because it's not going to change, right? So think of maybe an evergreen topic. And then I want you to create a list of 5 conversation starters that you can post real time in the morning on your Instagram stories. What's a good conversation starter? What's a good topic? What kind of coffee do you like? What time do you wake up in the morning? Do you have good sleeping patterns or bad sleeping patterns? Like you can ask so many different questions, but if you get used to asking a question every day and kind of waking up your audience, it's really helpful. So just think of those 3 things and just kind of create a note for yourself for this week to refer back to when you get a little stuck. Okay, I'm going to give you, let's say, 2 or 3 minutes to do that, and then we'll go to the last activity. Okay, so for the last couple minutes, I just want you to post your Instagram handle in the chat. And I want you to pick a few of them to go and engage with that person on Instagram. Just go to the coach next to you's last post, leave a comment, like it, just give them some of that engagement for free. So go through, do that for the last, mine is at Coach Chase, super simple. And just go and engage with as many as you can for the next couple minutes. This, you guys, is one of my favorite activities to do on Power Hours because I think it's so helpful. It's so good to just see engagement on your page and remind yourself that you're not alone. And there's a lot of other people that are working just like you and doing the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to give us a minute to go through and do that, and then we'll close out. Okay, guys, it's after 8, so we're gonna go. The last little piece of homework, which you guys always get from me, is one, I want you to try and post in your ideal posting time today, or optimal posting time. So the way that you find that is you just go into your insights. It's really simple. You go to your audience, accounts engaged, or you can go to the total followers and scroll all the way to the bottom, and it will show you your optimal days, your optimal hours. And I just want you to identify your optimal morning time post and your optimal evening time post. And those are the 2 times you should post every day, no matter what. Regardless of what else you do, just try and be engaged and online at those 2 times. Whether you're in your Instagram stories, commenting back on stuff, making a new post, whatever it is, just try and engage on your social media at those 2 times. And I promise you'll see a boost in your following, your engagement, and have more opportunity to invite. And then the very last thing is to, if you haven't done this yet, to create a shareable folder, meaning a folder on your Instagram where you can bookmark and save content that you can share easily, reshare. Super simple. It'll help you throughout your whole day and your whole week this week. Okay, so focus on your engagement. Hopefully this was helpful. I'll see you guys next Saturday. Have a good rest of the day. Enjoy your Halloween. Eat a ton of candy. I'll see you guys soon.